Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to episode 74, Who Knew, of the Studio Rats Live Q&A. It's Wednesday evening. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And we are here once again to answer your audio, guitar, and production woes.
Well, apparently we should be rebranding.
Oh, really? Why?
Because, well, just by this guy that left a comment saying that is this the Studio Rats or Guitar Rats or something like that?
That's odd, considering I'm a drummer and we're both production people.
I don't know. Well, we do talk about guitar stuff way more than we talk about production stuff, I guess.
We do, but guitar stuff's more interesting than drum stuff as well.
It is.
It just is. So yeah, sorry if you think we're misbranded, but hey, I've lost track of how many years into this craziness we are. We're the Studio Rats, so like it or lump it, we just are. Get over it. It's good to see so far. D-Mac's in the house, Keith Milner's in the house, Safey is in with us, and Guitar Live is in. Dave Stockton, Dave Bros, K. Michael Pete. Great to have you with us as always from all over the world, wherever you may be. However, traditionally we start the show with a quick update. Mr. Drew, what have Yao been up to?
Not anyone want to buy a dog? And actually, anyone want a dog for free? Drive me nuts. The dog is driving me nuts. So, do you know what? And I'm not going to talk about this too much because I know it isn't really relevant. But
we'll be the dog rats.
I tell you what. And honestly, I've never. And like work-wise, you could forget it. Like I've hardly done a thing, like this whole week. But the good thing is, I picked up my 335. Still needs a bit of work though. Right.
Okay.
What else have I done? And honestly, that's about it. I did a video for comparing the Boss IR200 with the.
That was a good video.
Tar. Yeah, that seems to be doing quite well.
Our Gary Moore video has certainly stirred it up a bit as well.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying that we don't know what we're on about.
I love that. There's some really strange people. I just love it. So why not? As opposed to saying that, why not do a video? If you think you know better, do it. I'd be really happy for someone to do that. It's just like.
However.
Yeah,
I phoned Paul over the weekend with a bit of an update. Mm-hmm. A mutual friend of ours, who at the moment shall remain nameless because I don't want to give too much away, and I'm hoping he's going to come on the show, and I don't want to sort of give the game away. Yeah. But a mutual friend of ours texted me and said, "I didn't know you were a Gary Moore super fan," and I went, "Have been since my early teens. He's a hero." He said, "You know, I was the engineer for Still Got the Blues and After the War." And I went, jaw well and truly dropped on the floor. Yeah. So hopefully he's going to come on. He sent me some pictures as well. I just went, oh my God. So we have some really good gear references now for guitar amps and things like that, which is great because we actually have the photographs of what they were using. But B, we're hopefully going to get our friend on to talk about it and obviously talk about other things he's done since. But, I will be chewing his ears off about the Gary Moore connection and stuff.
That'd be good actually, because just to please all the people that want the studio, some more sort of studio information and stuff. So I'm doing a couple of David Olsen.
It started already.
Straight away.
It started. David, thank you so much.
Beveragino. Did someone mention as Chinzano? Beveragino. All the very best you both. Cheers, David. That's very kind of you.
I shall tip my beverage.
What have you got? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking beer from a seventh from the 14th Catford Beer Festival. This mug dates back to 2006.
Nice. That's the same age as my 335. Cheers, David. Thank you very much. And someone else, sorry, I've had a bad day, so I'm gonna get all my moaning out of the way, and then hopefully we can get some cheery stuff going. Someone else, so on that IR200 video that I did. The IR, comparing the IR with the Iridium.
Yep.
Someone commented, just a comment, just saying, telecasters not relevant. Is that just the most ill-informed? What is that about?
My favourite thing, and I have to thank our listenership, our readership, our viewership for this.
Yeah.
My favourite thing about some of the comments that were flying around, particularly about the Gary Moore video, was one person got. Are you coming to this?
Well, no. What's going to say the comments? I think we're making out the comments were negative. No, the comments were 99% positive, so it's good.
But what I'm going to say is there was one person who got a bit funny, and you lot instantly put him down.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
It was beautiful. I think one comment was, "So how long have you been playing?" 8 minutes was just enough for me. I was like, it was beautiful. So
that is rude. Yeah, that's just not needed. Make a video if you don't like the videos, make a video. That's what I always think.
Make one yourself.
Absolutely.
So this week, after my revelation last week that my planning application has been declined, I thought, and I've tried to phone the planning people to speak to them about it nicely in a civilized kind of way.
Do you want to tell, just in case we've got some new watchers, listeners, whatever? Do you want to tell them what the planning permission is? My
space that we're in right now will be my living room. This is my temporary digs. We moved house back in June, and I am building the mega shed to end all mega sheds out there. It's going to be incredible. However, the planning department have decided right now they don't want me to do that. So I'm going to get legal on their ass. I have a planning solicitor involved, planning lawyer, and I have instructed them to whoop some ass, as we say in the finer parts of the English speaking world. So yeah, it's got legal. So I now have to start preparing documents and all the plans and everything to go to him, and he will sort it out. The only problem is, and it's not a major problem, is that any planning appeal takes 4 months.
Oh, man, mind you, I guess as you said, but that takes it out of winter-ish.
It also gets us the other side of winter. It also takes it all out of my hands. It basically says I don't have to worry about this. I've got legal people now to do that stuff. It's going to cost some money, but not enough to stop me doing it.
Have you by any chance? I think this could be something we take offline. But have you by any chance looked at past reviews of that particular lawyer firm? They don't just sort of grab anything that doesn't get.
Yeah.
It's all good.
They're above board and legit and stuff.
Great, nice one.
I went to them. They didn't come to me.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Yes. Nice one.
So
nice one.
Other than that, I have been playing some bass on an album that I'm doing for an educational company. I'm playing bass on a bunch of kids stuff. I should be playing drums at some point next week on the same album. Nice. And I've been getting my inner what was his name? Who's the guy from Home Improvement? Tim Allen. I've been getting my inner Tim Allen on and destroying sheds in the garden.
No.
Just in preparation for the fact that I am eventually going to have a new shed, I've been destroying the old ones. So that's been very satisfying. Sledgehammers and chainsaws have been used.
Nice.
Anywho, should we get to the questions we have thus far?
Yeah.
DMAC got in early doors with this one.
DMAC says, "Hi guys, I'm looking for a recording interface that can also work as a portable pedal board. Headrush MX5 ? I'd like to capture my recorded tones to use with my band. Does this seem like a good option?" Can I just read that again? I'm looking for a recording interface that can also work as a pedal. There is another option, but yeah, I've got another.
I don't know many which are first and foremost a recording interface that just happen to have pedals. Most of them are pedal interfacey type things, like FX platforms, that also act as an interface. I think your questioning might be a little bit backward there, but hey, that's not for me to say. The Headrush MX5 will work perfectly. for capturing guitar. However, it does not have a mic input, therefore it does not have any way of plugging in other things.
Right, I found it. I found what I was looking at. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the head rush would definitely work well as an interface. If as James says, you're just looking to record guitar, perfect. Nothing wrong with that. There is another option if you don't want to have like a head rush on your pedal board. There's something called an OMEC, which is it was made by Orange. You know, Orange amps.
Yeah.
And it's basically a USB guitar interface.
There are a few of those. IK Multimedia made one.
Right.
Something like what's the Audient one called? Oh, that's a really good thing. It's not a pedal board. It's not all the multi-effects.
Yeah.
It's cool. Hang on, so I'm going to have to check now.
So yeah, I think what we're saying here. So when James brought his MX5 over, which I've got down here, I need to get it out and do some videos on it. But when we initially tried it out, we tried it out with some pedals, and it didn't take pedals that well. I didn't think. This is something that I'm going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks and doing some videos on. So if you've got like a bunch of pedals that you're really happy with and you just want to record that sound to an interface, I think the OMEC teleport is a good choice. Other than that, Boss GT1000. I mean, there's loads. Most of the Boss stuff, probably even from the ME80 GT1.
Check out the Audient Sono.
Oh,
because
because
it is a guitar. It's an interface for guitarists.
But that's quite big, though, isn't it? That's like
no, it's tiny. It's this big.
Is it?
Yes, very tiny.
Okay.
It's not pedal boardy, but it has. You could. There are ways around that, but it is a very, very cool interface.
Now, if you wanted something that does absolutely everything, we could probably recommend the Quad Cortex.
Quad Cortex, because it has got mic pre's and it has got everything. It's £1,500, and you've got to find one.
Yeah. But what about if you don't mind going rack mount wise? 11 rack has got a mic pre.
And mic pre's great.
Oh.
It's the same one as they used to put in the Avid pre's, which were grand.
Oh, okay. Fine. Yeah, nice. Okay, good. Hopefully that helped. Let us know if we can help out any more. Keith says probably the majority of modern multi-effects pedal boards can act as a USB recording interface, and there's always the option of something like the Boss IR200 if you want normal pedals. That's very true.
Yeah.
Now that is a good option. I forgot about the IR200. Stupidly, I can't believe I forgot about that. But the IR200 would work really well as that, and it's also a much smaller footprint.
Yeah,
I would probably say the IR200 would probably be the best choice. But if you want all the multi effects, then I think, and you're just worried about guitar, then I think the MX5 would be great.
So we should give a quick shout out to everyone who's joined us. Dave Manos is in. Mike Aiton's in the house. Happy me. John Partridge says hello from Wales. You can always tell someone from Wales, can't you? Because they always say, "Who's caught this jacket?"
What is he from?
Oh, stop it.
Delhi or something? What?
Stop it. Mike Aiton says,
"Does the dog have bark buckers?" It's driving me nuts. Forgot about my woes for a few minutes then.
Oh dear.
Oh, are we that far down? Okay. Yeah. Bill Dyer says, Paul, your demos are always great. Love the IR200 one. Great playing. Oh, thanks, mate. Very kind. Hold on. Go back to that picture.
That one.
That's a cool venue, isn't it?
It is. It looks like. Oh, yeah. That does look good, doesn't it?
I like that. It's a nice venue.
Nice.
I like that a lot. Stephen James.
Hang on. I'm sorry. We're jumping around with the shot.
Sorry. Gary Moore vid was quite realistic to me, says Mike Aiton. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I think you did a good job with that.
Well, I think we did an okay job.
I think you nailed he's got like the Gary Moore sort of vibrato that you were doing. I quite like that.
I think you'll find he did it first.
Yes, I know. You've got that sort of quickie vibrato. I liked it. I've spent
a lot of years studying that man's brain.
Good morning, Stephen from Brisbane. Dave McQuillan's in the house. Evening, guys. Hope you're well. Thanks, mate. Yes, all very good. Thank you very much.
Hang on a sec. Oh, here we go.
Shaharbar says.
Shaharbar's in the house, and also he may or may not notice that I've been coiffured a little since last we met because, quite frankly, I've had enough people saying I've got big hair, so I had a haircut.
Very good. Did the wife do it?
She did.
Did she? Nice.
For the first time I've seen it in about 3 weeks.
Nice one. Lim says, have been a huge Gary Moore fan. After your show, I went back and listened to several of his classic live albums. I thought my ears were going to bleed out. Sorry, James, too shrill for me. So, isn't that funny? Because me and James, we had real sort of.
We had as close to we could get as a coming to blows, didn't we?
It wasn't coming to blows, but it was almost like, it's like you were just going like, no, more treble. And I'm like, no, it's so bright. So whether that's a case of both, our ears of degraded differently over the years.
Who said that?
Yeah. Pete Dudley says, I think your Gary Moore video was brilliant and very helpful. I think a few negative comments must be tone deaf. Brilliant stuff. Thanks, mate.
Oh, you say the nicest thing.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what I mean? It's part of the job, unfortunately.
One person's bright is another person's shrill. One person's rich is another person's dumb.
Absolutely.
I learned this many years ago.
K. Michael P says, in the southern US, it's called whoop-ass.
Love it.
Mike Aiton says 4 months for the Shedio, plenty of time to get your wiring schematic sorted.
Do you know what, mate? You're
like a fun evening.
You're absolutely right. And whatever you do, don't go for a drink with me after I've done it, because I will want to tell you everything about it.
Chris P says must be a big shed if outside permitted development. Yes, it's going to be. How big is it? It's huge.
It is 11 meters wide, effectively, by 5 meters deep, by 2.824 meters high. Anything over 2.4 meters in the UK requires planning permission. Anything over 30 square meters requires planning permission and building control to get involved. Am I boring you yet?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Keith Miller says, reshed, you should take Colin Furs for inspiration. Colin Furs, I know that name.
Wasn't he in the King's Speech?
Very good. Very good.
Keith, you might have to help me out there. Hang on. You might have to help me out there, Keith, because I don't know who that is. So
I know the name. I do know the name.
Please do advise.
Shahar Bar says, do you have a favourite IR? Perfect mics and cab combination. I don't actually, funny enough. I'd like to get more. I'd like to find that sort of IR. I tend to go through.
There's some really good ones, some free ones for the Headrush range on the Headrush website.
Are there
some really good ones? Yeah, and because it will act as an IR loader. They're just a generic. They're an impulse response, aren't they? They're a thing. They're an audio file. So you can load those ones, and some of those sound really good. There's a lot of Celestion ones in there, which are generally for guitar a pretty good one. I know a lot of the 11 rack stuff started off as IR, but then was developed into their own format. So somewhere there are the 11 rack IRs floating around, but I think they're really good.
Nice. Yeah. Sorry, Shahar. Not really favourites. I wonder. The ones that I really like that aren't really IRs are the ones that are in the Two Notes Torpedo. But that's their own sort of format, isn't it? I don't know how they do it.
No, I'm not sure. I looked at doing a load of stuff because you can do it with what's the DSP platform when you can actually create your own IRs with a starting pistol or something. Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
And I looked at doing some when I had in my old house when we did the kitchen. The kitchen had a really, really nice ring to it, a really nice tone to it when it was empty before it was a kitchen.
Right.
And I just never got around to doing it because I thought this is just one of those things that I'm going to end up disappearing down a rabbit hole and not getting anything usable out of it.
Yeah. I think you're right. Keith Milner says also regarding interface recording, if you want to record the band and you use the PA, the Behringer X-Air 18 is pretty good, and it's also a decent live mixer. Do you know that's probably not a bad thing actually? Something like the X Desk and whatever is it called, the X Desk? What's the X32?
The X32, the Mackie MC32R, which is what I use. MC. Anyway, any of those kind of rack mounted or digital mixing desks are really good for that sort of thing. My Mackie's great. I use it for live recordings all the time.
Yeah,
very cool box.
Nice. Mike Ayton, who's coming to see Josh Smith at the Half Moon Putney on the 8th of November? That's a God. I've played there a few times.
I have as well. Yeah,
that's
for a while.
That'll be a good gig. Josh Smith, what a player!
It's a sweatbox of a venue, though, isn't it?
It is a sweatbox. But oh God, I'd love to go and see Josh Smith. It's all right for you, Mike, because you live quite near. I'm not saying we don't live near, but
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Nedamido says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I bought a Black Squire Telecaster Deluxe 70s with humbuckers and maple fretboard. Couldn't say no to 10% rebate. I play it in D standard like Alan Epley. I don't know Alan Epley. Good choice though, mate. Nice job.
Sounds great. Sounds very good.
Deluxe 70 with humbuckers. So is that the what humbuckers? Are they the what do they call that those 70s humbuckers? Fender
Humbuckers?
No, they're called something. Nice. Good choice, mate. I hope you get a lot of good use out of it.
And at this point, we have to raise a glass.
What is going on today?
Cheers everybody.
Davido. Most kind. Doesn't the Line 6 Helix have a mic input? Yes, it does, actually. Well done, mate. It does. Well done, Keith. Yes, the Line 6 Helix definitely does. You have to buy the big one, though, not the HX.
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff. Stomping. Pod Go is great, too. I don't think that has a mic input, but yes. Yeah, I'm sure that. I mean, all of these sort of modern day guitar processors have a USB.
Yeah. Yes, most of them.
Chris P says, watch if there's two Welsh on the call. Almost a full front row. Watch it, there's two Welsh on the call. Nice.
I mean, no offense by my appalling impressions.
Shocking.
My other favorite one is see them two houses up on the hill. Mine's the one in the middle. So I'll stop now.
Please. Oh, you really are. And I'm a quarter Welsh. My grandfather was full from the valleys.
Surely it's a third. A third Welsh.
Why would that be a third?
I mean, you can't be a third. Never mind. Just move on.
Yeah. Bruce Brooks, hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late. Got it all mixed up with the time. I think you changed your clocks. Oh yes, we of course. We're now GMT, aren't we? We're now back to GMT.
I did remember to put GMT on the post. So
well done, mate.
I was right. Bruce, you're with us now. We can make up for lost time. There was some good stuff. There'll be more good stuff later on. It's all good.
It was just me ranting. It's just me having a moan about stuff. You haven't missed anything. Jeff Rock, whose shoes are these boots? Whose shoes are these?
It's another Welshism. Whose shoes are these?
Oh,
boots?
I see. No, honestly, someone's gonna get upset. You don't know how sensitive people are.
I tell you what, if they're sensitive, they're in the wrong bloody place.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Hey, I got called baldy by someone fairly recently on the show.
Yeah, but at least that's accurate.
Yeah, fair enough. Peter Ludlow, what's your thoughts on changing the wiring to 50s style and PAF Montes pickups in my Epiphone Les Paul Modern Classic? I've got the Gary Moore bug now.
Do it. Just do it.
What is 50s wiring?
I have not. I don't know.
If you mean the out of phase flipping the pickup round? I don't know. 50s. I can't think what 50s on a Les Paul. It's always the same, isn't it? On a Les Paul, I could be so wrong. Peter, fill us in.
I would be on that guitar. You're not talking a super high-end instrument. If you get it wrong, you can always undo it. what's not to. It's worth a crack, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, but let us know what the 50s wiring is. I'd love to know. Chris P says IR200 video was great. Thank you, mate. Question is, do I need it having a GT1000 core? How much does it add? It doesn't add. I think if you've got a GT1000 core, stick with the GT1000 core. It is different processing inside there. Think of, I don't know how many DSPs are in the GT1000 core or the GT1000, but I think there's 2 DSP chips in the IR200, and there's a lot of processing going into the modeling side of things. Do you need it? Honestly, if you're happy with what you've got, I wouldn't change.
The truth of the matter is,
sorry.
The truth of the matter is, if you're playing through a 1996 pod and you love it, you don't need any of this stuff. If you love it, if you're happy with it, it's only if you're seeking something that the current gear you have doesn't achieve, or you're not happy with your current gear, that's when it makes a difference. We all have gear lust, and God, I have it more than most.
He does.
I do suffer.
I wonder if I should actually do a video on the differences between the IR200 and actually sort of compare the amplifiers and set them up exactly the same.
Yeah, great idea.
And then I might do that actually.
That's a way to lose several hours of your life and be really bored, but produce a really good video.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite niche. That's the only thing. But I do get quite a lot of comments, people saying, "Do I need this if I've got the GT1000?"
I think that's a really good video. I think, you know, is it a companion or is it an alternative? Oh, that's a great title. Companion or alternative?
Oh,
there you go.
Genius.
Up here thinking.
I just think the GT1000 core has got way more effects in it, so you can do a lot more with the GT1000 core. You know, so yeah, the IR200 has only got reverb. I say only. It's great. It's really good, but it's only got the reverb. Evan Ward, hello from East Coast, USA. Hi, Evan. How you doing?
That's a new name, I think.
I think it is a new name.
I think it is. Great to have you with us.
Nice. Yeah. David Stockton says, my first gig was Gary Moore in 91, and it was Razor Blade treble. Yes. Yeah. Nice.
What was funny, and I know we alluded to this on the video, was when we listened to some of the other Gary Moore stuff, people have said, oh, check out The Loner, check out Still Got the Blues, Parisian Walkways. All that kind of Still Got the Bluesy-esque stuff has a very similar tone. The Loner, however, does not.
That was, yeah. So The Loner, sorry, James, go on, you go.
It sounds like a Boss Metal Zone plugged straight into the desk. It's proper DI sound, isn't it?
It was a bad idea. That was whatever he was going through. Someone said, I don't know who suggested it, but someone said that he recorded there was a certain era when he recorded a Rat pedal going straight into the desk. It could have been that.
It certainly could have been that. I love that track, but I mean, I love any of the Gary Moore Cycle of Fifth stuff because you can solo so nicely over it, and he made a great noise. I mean, and even he made that tone sound amazing, but it was still a bit on the edge of. Ooh.
Well, it was that era, wasn't it? Yeah. Someone else left a comment on that video saying, "Oh, you've insulted Jackson. That's me out."
Bye then.
We didn't insult Jackson. We didn't insult Jackson.
Okay, well, whatever.
I think we were insulting that tone. But anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Island Sound says, my top picks for Katana tone would be John Sykes. Oh, that's a tone. John Sykes, what a player. Neil Sean, excellent. Needless to say, you'll probably need a Les Paul for both. John Sykes, such a should have been a much bigger name than.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing guitar player. Bruce Brooks, did you see my request during the Gary Moore video to do a Clapton woman tone for this week? Oh, I didn't. No, we didn't. Sorry, Bruce. If I have both, then I can die a happy man. Not soon, though. Clapton's woman tone. That should be. I think that would probably be easier than the Gary Moore one.
Doable, I would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not quite so. not quite so saturated, is it? It's not like nothing like so saturated. It's Clapton versus Gary Moore for a start.
Yeah. I never really got it. That Clapton woman tone. I never.
Did you ever see? It was Roland Rivron, as in he who played drums for Squeeze, and his
what?
Roland Rivron played drums for Squeeze for a while.
Did he?
Yeah, between Gilson Lavis and Gilson Lavis coming back and stuff.
Wow.
It's a good drummer, actually.
So many comedians play drums.
Good drummer. And he did a video taking the mick out of Ralph McTell's Playing a Day book, right? And if you just Google YouTube for Ralph McTell Playing a Day, Roland Rivron, basically it's all these guitar legends, Gary Moore, Dave Gilmour, turning up and going, Playing a Day, and with the book. There we go. It's so funny. So funny.
I have seen that. Yeah.
But I mean, to get all these guys in the same room, it's amazing. Lemmy as well. Lemmy, Dave Gilmour, and Gary Moore in the same room. It's hilarious.
Amazing. Chris P, that's not a shed, that's a bungalow. Yes, that's a big old lump you're putting in your garden. It's true.
It is, and it will be amazing. And you will all be along for the ride, hopefully.
You're all invited. You're all invited to the opening party.
Tell you what, there will be the mother of all opening parties for this, because yes. Anyway, it'll happen. I'm not surprised. It got declined. I knew this would happen. So yeah.
Gary McGregor says, regarding the head drum, can you connect external analog pedals whilst employing the 4 cable method? So
has it got a loop? Has it got a loop on it?
Do you want me to get it out?
I think it has.
I haven't even taken it out the box since you left.
Do you know what? I don't think it has a loop. I don't think it does.
I shall tell thee. It's nicely. That is so well made. So you've got guitar in, expression, effects send, effects return.
Yes, it does have a loop then. So you can do the 4 cable thing.
That's interesting. I wonder if the pedals would work, if external pedals would work better
in the loop.
Oh, okay. Can you change the point of the loop? I'll have to look
yes,
at that.
You can. Yes, you can.
Oh,
yes.
That's probably why it didn't sound very good. Excellent. Try that out.
Yeah. Yes, you can make some tutorials on my gear.
Yes. Okay. So yes, you can. Yes. Yeah.
And Paul will do some tutorials on that when we get a moment.
Sorry. Yes, I will do. I've got a waves.
Dog.
I've got a dog. Yeah. And Waves have asked me to do a video, which I need to get done. We've got some videos coming up. We've got a really interesting one coming tomorrow. With the Lysis. I've edited that, James.
That was great fun.
That's a really interesting pedal. That have you got it with you?
It's in a box.
Have you? Okay, don't worry. No, we bring it out later on because we can talk about new gear and stuff. Nedamido says all this talk of the shed reminds me of Monty Python's sketch with Arthur Two Sheds Jackson.
Very much so.
Love Monty Python. Shep Shepherd's in the house. He said has the he's got the Captor X, but really like the UAD Ox. But there's the Boss Tube amp expander. Only record and play for myself. Any advice? Really great question. So I've got more or less. I've got all three. I've got the 2 notes. I've got a 2 notes Captor, a 2 notes
torpedo
device. The Captor X is slightly different, but we'll talk about that. The UAD Ox and the Tube amp expander. So
Captor I got one of those too.
Yeah, James got one up there.
Come on.
It's weird, isn't it?
There it is.
There it is. So the Captor X is basically a load box, so there's no effects or anything built in. So what you're doing is you can attenuate your amplifier, which is great. The UAD Ox does the same thing. Now, the thing about the UAD Ox and the attenuation is it's stepped. So you can't go from like whisper quiet and then get gradually louder. It goes whisper quiet, louder, a lot louder, shit loud.
Yeah.
It goes like that. the UAD aux is brilliant. It sounds fantastic if you're recording to, say you're doing a gig and you don't want to mic up your cabinet, or you want to get a really good sounding guitar cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
You can just come straight out the back of the aux and send that to front of house. You can worry about what you're getting on stage. That's your sound, and you send like a really nice mix to the front of house or monitors, whatever you want to send it to. The UAD aux doesn't, even though it's got effects inside the UAD aux, it doesn't push those effects out of the guitar cab output.
No.
So it's a dry output. You'll get your amplifier that's pushed through the into your cabinet, which is fine. That's great. Now the Boss Tube Amp Expander does everything. So you can send effects to your guitar cabinet. It's got like reverb and delays built in. You can send that to your guitar cabinet. You can also send that delays and reverbs to the line outputs, which go to the front of house. The Tube Amp Expander's also got a 100-watt built-in amplifier. So if you've got something like a low-powered amplifier, something like a one of those Marshall Studio Series 20-watt things, you can plug that into the Boss Tube Amp Expander and then make it into a 100-watt amp. The Boss Tube Amp Expander has also got an effects loop, which the others haven't got. So if you want to run external effects like reverbs, delays, choruses, whatever you want, you could do that with the Tube Amp Expander. That's the only one that does it.
It's also worth noting that Steve Stevens is using a pair of Tube Amp Expanders in his library. So, they are roadworthy as well.
Yeah, so Tube Amp Expander is one there. It's great. It's really, really good. I mean, Boss stuff's built like a tank.
The only problem I have with Boss stuff, and this is not a major problem, but certainly for the Tube Amp Expander, the Tube Amp Expander is not a looker.
I don't think Boss stuff is. I don't think they're.
But no. The GT1000 Core, the new IR200, they look really cool. They look really solid. They're nice shiny buttons. It looks really cool. The Tube Amp Expander looks a bit pony. Considering it's a 4-figure unit, it looks a bit naff. I know it's got lots under the hood.
Yeah,
or is it just me?
I know what you're saying. I think Boss, when Boss makes stuff, they make it quite utilitarian. They don't. It's not like like they don't go.
I mean, they haven't gone the full Bagheera, have they? Not Bagheera.
Well, even Neural DSP. Like Neural DSP. The design of the Quad Cortex is
stunning.
It's stunning. It looks amazing because but it's almost like all of that a thought went into that as opposed to making it.
I think a lot of thought went into making it, but it didn't appeal to us.
Yeah. So Shep, all of them are great. It really depends on what you want. If you want to record some great guitar sounds, go for the UAD aux because it's the effects inside it are the UAD effects, and they're fantastic.
They're excellent.
The Boss Tube Amp Expander is brilliant. It's the most versatile out of all of them. Evan Ward saw Gary on Wild Frontiers tour in '87. Great show, great band, amazing guitar sound. Awesome. Yeah, that must have been a good gig. Shahar Bar says Wall of Sound allows mic movement, so it's more like an intelligent IR. A regular yeah, that's true actually. Yeah. A regular IR file is just a WAV file, sorry. Wall of Sound also allows to load in regular IRs. I personally like the ones from Ownhammer. Ownhammer, the ones that lots of people like them. I've heard some good ones from the Nolly ones. I've heard some. Like Nolly's guitar playing. Do you know Nolly from Get Good Drums, James? Oh
no, I don't.
Ridiculous guitar player. Ridiculous.
I kind of switch off that Get Good Drums stuff because it's all that. We'll get onto that in a minute because I've got a whole diatribe about how much I hate that sort of stuff done badly.
Yeah. In a minute. Sure. Yeah, no, I do get that, but he's a very talented guy. Jeff Rock at Chris P. Lol, former tight head specialist here.
We'll just nod and agree. They're having their own chat. It's fine.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. We like cross chatting. This is good. Stephen James, hey guys, saw a YouTube clip from Tim Pierce interviewing Neil Giraldo, Pat Benatar, about his guitar and amp tone. And after going through it, he said most of his tone is through his hands. He turns the bass of his Marshall down because he pulls the bass out through his playing style. Yeah.
Anyone who says these don't make 90% of the difference hasn't been playing guitar very long. That's how I'm going to put it nicely.
Yeah.
It's so important. But Paul and I played the same thing on the same stuff, and it sounded completely different because his fingers, believe it or not, are different to mine. So I have to point out that at some point, somebody said, "You're a better guitar player than me," and I went, "Yeah, but you should hear him play drums." And then some, but because I responded as my Location Recordings Google account, someone put, no, it's James who plays the drums.
Oh. You were hoodwinking. You were doing.
I wasn't doing it intentionally. It's made me laugh. I wasn't trying to be clever or be out there.
Yes, I'm a shocking drummer. Terrible drummer.
Yes.
Nedamido says the Squire Telly Deluxe sounds great to me, but I don't know what the pickups are. One's thick and one's chimey. Alan Epley is a guitarist and singer from Shiner, from the Life and Times favorite bands. Nice one. Nice one. Keith Miller says 50 style has the tone cap wide indefinitely. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know how much difference that makes in real life. I don't know if I've played a guitar that has that or doesn't have that, but
I have. My 57's got that. I haven't noticed anything. Anyway, no, it'd be interesting. I'd like to hear the difference. Yeah. Alex Kuro, thoughts on the Marshall Origin 20 or your favorite all tube head and cab for around $700 to $800? Thinking of a good classic drive tone, but also something to put a pedal with to get some 80s gain tones. It's not classic though, is it? What are you pointing at?
The Marshall JCM 100.
Oh,
every time
he said head and cab. And also that those studio series in America are crazy money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really expensive.
In that case, then the PRS.
Yeah, not really.
It's classic. Not classic, though, is it? No.
The MT15 is fantastic. That is
not even fantastic for the money. It's just fantastic.
No, for the money. That amp sounds like a proper boutique amp. It's brilliant. I mean, it might be worth looking at because you definitely get a cab and that for that sort of money, and it's fantastic. Yeah. The Marshall Origin 20. The thing is, for you guys in America, you're going to be paying I don't know about the Origin actually, because that might not be made in the UK. So maybe the prices for the Origin, for the Far Eastern made stuff, isn't as bad in the US. I've never tried an Origin 20. James, tried one?
Do you know what? No, I haven't. I thought it was one of the model-y ones, but it's not. It's all tube. So
yeah, it is, yeah.
No, I haven't. They look great though.
Yeah, they do. They do look really good. I'd definitely have a look at the Origin 20, but I would just go and try one of the MT15s. Do you know they're bringing out an MT100?
God.
Yeah, they're bringing an MT100, and it's got a Fender channel.
Yeah.
It's got the high gain channel.
Yeah.
Like yours, and it's also got a Dumble channel. Genius.
That's going to be a popular amp, isn't it? It's also going to blow away Small Planets.
Yeah.
On full tilt.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I don't know if anyone actually needs a 100-watt amp anymore.
No, well, certainly not. I mean, that little 15 was bloody loud.
15.
Anywho,
Top Low Telly says, Paul, have you had the chance to learn about? Oh no, I still haven't done it. Can I do it after I've house trained the dog?
Shot the dog.
Just checking. No, I'm so sorry, mate. I did promise I'd do this, and I will do it. I promise I'll do it. And thanks for reminding me. Chris P says comparison would be great. is what everyone is skipping over. Companions alternative, brilliant. Yeah, I think okay. I'll have a look. I might have a chat with Boss and see if they, because I do think that would, yeah. Okay. Let me have a chat. D-Max says, thanks, guys. Appreciate the info. I was offline for a bit at my local shop trying a Headrush gig board. Found it bassy and it was running it through a power amp in on the Katana. Going to be a learning curve.
That you do have a master EQ on the Headrush stuff. So if you do find that everything's a bit bassy, just go in and tweak the master EQ curve.
Yeah, and also the same with the Katana as well. Not that it's easy to do. It'd probably be easy to do on the Headrush. Bass.
It's very easy on the Headrush as long as you've got it connected. No, because there isn't an interface. They just do it on in the thing. It's really easy.
Yeah, good luck with it. I hope it all works out. I'm sure it will be. That sounds like a pretty good little system. Bruce says, gear lust sucks. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I bought a Spark 40 about 3 weeks ago because they were on sale. Love it, but after I checked it out, I realised that I really just don't need it.
That's often the way with so much stuff.
That's why I like buying secondhand stuff, because you know that you can probably sell it for what you paid for it, or very close to.
Probably often more as well if it's a good deal.
Yeah, if it's quality stuff, yeah.
I still say the Spark, for me, I will not be selling it because it's a great outdoor speaker. It's a great barbecue speaker. And then if someone says, "I'll play us some guitar," you just go clunk and away you go.
Yeah, I don't think you should. You should get rid of it, Bruce. I think just have it, and I think you'll just find that one time you just go, that's what I needed it for.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a £3,000 investment, I'd say move it on. But it's a few $100, and unless you can't afford to, I'm not saying for a moment that you should ever buy gear over buying food. Anybody should, but unless you're down to your last shekel, I'd keep it. And there'll be a time when you go, "Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, I've got it."
Just true, yeah. Peter Ludlow says 50s style wiring is the way pots are connected. 50 styles wiring is the way the pots are connected to modern wiring. It affects the tone. Interesting.
Okay, go with that.
Chris P says, Jeff Rock, ex-loose head myself. All we need now is a good hooker. I don't know what's going on. This is brilliant.
Whatever. I want to be invited to that party.
I'm thinking this is, and I'm not thinking they're thinking the sort of hookers that I'm thinking.
No,
I'm thinking it's like a left hooker.
Yes,
like a rugby term.
I think no, it's not a left hooker, mate. A hooker is the guy in the middle of the scrum.
Right. I've been to Prague. That's not the sort of hooker that.
No.
Anyway, back to Lando says, "Hey guys, do you know if the ES8 can change pedal loops and amp setting via MIDI out with a single press of one of the foot switches?" So you want to change pedal loops? Yes, you can. Yes, can do all of that business. Did I miss a studio update? No, just that James is nothing as yet. I'm afraid, Cowbell. Nothing as yet.
Just that I'm annoyed, and we'll get over it, and there'll be more to follow soon.
Yeah, so James's planning got turned down, so so it's just negotiating now.
I'm fighting it now. Yeah. Fight the power, solidarity, brothers, and all that.
Alec Bourne, MIDI Mad Scientist says, "Evening all. Hello lads. Hello mate. How you doing?" Top Low Telly, the 50s wiring on Les Paul puts the tone pots. See, we've had three different
versions.
50s wiring on Les Paul puts the tone pots in front of the volume pots for a little brighter sound, where the volume and tone affect each other differently. That's interesting.
Because I've always wondered, there was a great video that Joe Bonamassa put out about how he said, you only actually need one guitar for every tone. And basically, on these Les Paul pots, he was winding it back until it was so beautifully clean. I went, that's amazing. And then he went, and it went to full raw on one pot.
He's the master of that. He's the master of using his volume and tone. He's so good.
And I know he plays lighter to not hit the front end of the amp as hard. But I was like, How are you doing that? Oh yeah, I mean you're a guitar god, but how are you doing that?
He's so good. Joe Bonamassa has got such great. So that's guitar tone. That's in the
Yes.
fingers. He's such great tone.
But it doesn't matter because you don't. These don't matter. Anyone can do that.
Keith Milner says Colin Furze is a YouTube mad inventor who built an. Yes, that's where I know the name from. He built an underground bunker complex in his back garden, amongst other things. Yes, really good videos.
Amazing.
David Bro says, I only watch a few shows about gear, mainly yours. Thanks, Dave. But I hear uncertainty from the amp and pedal builder about how long pedals and amps will be relevant. Thoughts? It's a really good question.
Amps and pedals will always be relevant. Back in the early 80s, drummers were going to be replaced by drum machines. That went well, didn't it?
Such a shame that didn't happen.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Someone will find a replacement for tubes. The price of tubes will go up. Solid state amps will become good. See Boss Katana. I just don't.
I think James is right there. I think tubes. I think valves or tubes, whatever country you're from, are. It feels like, at some point. I mean, so there's one factory at the moment that's not even producing the tubes, the one in China.
Mm-hmm.
So tubes are going through the roof at the moment. Yeah, so
there's a joke about I'm trying to come up with a bad pun about loose tubes, but I can't. I'm struggling.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're struggling with
Thanks.
that. I think people just like experimenting. I can't see pedals or amps going out.
No,
because it's never going to be. It's not the same thing as opening up a menu and then just sort of dialing in different things.
And as much as anyone says, "Oh, we've crammed 50 pedals onto this chip," it isn't the same
at the moment.
It just isn't.
No, I agree. I don't think it's the same. Not yet. Thomas Rundstrom says, I did his second gig with the QC last week and he used Paul's D13 captures with the D13 pedal board. The whole gig, it sounded great. Oh, that's brilliant. Nice one, Thomas. I'm really glad that worked out.
Where Thomas, Paul will send you his address for the check shortly.
No, I'm really glad that worked out. I put the captures on the Gore-Tex cloud. John Partridge, where did you get that case for the headrush? Yeah, James, you love those cases, don't you?
I love those cases. They are from a company called Solent Cases. You can find them on Amazon, depending on where you're from. They're about 50 quid, and they've got the foam lattice. So you just pull out the bits you don't want, slots it in nicely. That actually was the Quad Cortex cases. I think it probably still says on it. And they're about the same. So yeah. And I think I've now bought getting on for 100 of those cases. Gosh. It's ridiculous. My loft is just those cases piled up with microphones and stuff in.
Wow.
Because I'm a great believer in cases. If you need to take something anywhere, get a decent case. Do you remember there was a time when guitar cases were made of cardboard? That kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, compressed wood.
Yeah,
like compressed wood. Yeah.
Well, not even that. Like actual cardboard.
What, a guitar case, or do you mean like a box?
No, I mean guitar cases. There was that drum cases were made of the same stuff for a while. Those LeBlond cases, that awful compressed cardboardy stuff. It's like, what's the bloody point?
Well, it was almost. It's almost like a soft. It was almost like I wouldn't say it's carb. I mean, it's like an MDF, wasn't it? It was like a thin MDF, pliable MDF.
But it moved. It bent. What's the point in putting something that doesn't bend inside something that does bend? I have a great theory, and I call it the 20% rule. Now, and 20% is very much up to there is a ceiling on this sort of thing, because there's only so much you can spend on a case. Ask Phil X. Come back to that later. I believe you should spend 20% of the value of the thing on the case and 20% or 10 to 20% on the stand. So, for example, I have a.
If you're going to talk about if he's going to start talking about microphone stands, I'm going to fall asleep again.
I have a £6,000 microphone here, and it's on a £700 stand. Though that's a stand that is worthy of putting that microphone on. Likewise, the case it goes in is a good £100 because it's a good solid case. I'll stop now. I'm sorry. You can wake up again.
Thanks. Great. I'll be jumping. Next one. Pet Moxie says, recently added the aux to my setup. Loving it so far. Plus the UAD plugins in Apollo. Yes, really good, isn't it, Pet? Nice one. Yeah, the UAD plugins. I really, really like that UAD delay that's in the aux.
It is very good, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get some really nice sort of Memory Man, but you can expand it to make it. You can get like Memory Man sort of sounds, but make it stereo. It's great. Good reverb, really good. Haig Buttons Son. Haig Buttonson.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Marshall AFD 100? It sounds gnarly with P90 pickups. They should be doing an AFD 20 studio, in his honest opinion.
I don't know that amp.
AFD. That wasn't the slash head, was it? Let me have a quick look. Let me have a quick look.
It sounds like it might be, actually.
D100 Marshall. Sorry.
Don't do that, Paul. It was a bit of a glare.
Very funny. Yeah, it's a slash head. The AFD. Right. Yeah, nice. That's a nice head. That
AFD, appetite for destruction.
Of course it is. Well done.
Yes.
Yeah. What an amp. Do you know what that went? When because that was a modified Marshall, wasn't it? It was a modified JTM, I think, on that album.
Yeah, I think so.
And didn't he try to nick it as well?
Yeah,
I think because it was hired from the studio, or hired, and I think he tried to nick it. Yeah, they were a good old band, weren't they?
There's a guitar player that has a tone that is all his own.
But the sound on the opening riff, that was like, because it was
no bottom end though. No bottom end at all.
Oh mate, it's loads of guys. See, we're gonna have EQ argument again. It was an incredible guitar sound, and like considering at the time there was just like 80s weird hair metal,
and it wasn't super saturated. It was a proper big, rock and roll noise.
Such a good sound. Shepherd, thanks guys. Ox it is. Nice one. You will not be disappointed.
Definitely not.
Pet Moxie, evening gents. Either of you heard or played Clive Carroll's Eliza's Eyes? A right tour de force playing through that one. PS, still can't find a Maxon RTD 800 yet. I don't know Clive Carroll Eliza's Eyes. You know that? Don't know that one, mate.
No, don't.
We will have a look. The Maxon RTD. Oh yeah, shame. Yeah, I guess they're quite hard to get hold of.
Yes.
Make sure you get the power supply. Make sure you get the right power supply, because we did notice that we tried it with something else,
and it wasn't happy to start with, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I think it's something about headroom. It did. It almost fuzzed out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Shahar Bar says, "Are you familiar with Mastodon?" Yes. They released a new album, and the production is just superb. Not to mention the songs, tones, riff, lyrics, etc. Yeah, brilliant. Proper stuff. I haven't heard the new album.
No.
Any idea what the MT100 will cost? I don't know, Marcus, I'm afraid. I'd love to know, actually, because I don't know if they're going to do it again as like a budget amp. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. The MT15 is I'm guessing it's made in China, James, do you know?
I'm going to guess so, yeah. No idea.
So, it's a price. I don't know what they are in the States, probably $500, something like that.
Yeah.
Really good, though. If it's $1,000, I mean, if they could do that for $1,000, that will sell like hotcakes. Andy Guitar Live says, I also agree with the tone coming mostly from your hands, but why is it then you both think that some tones work for us so well and some tones we just never get warm with, except because of comfort? Okay, let me have a think. what that means.
I think that in the realms of someone like David Gilmour.
Can you explain the question? Can you explain the
question? Well, I think it's why can we get close to some tones and why not to others? Now, I think it comes down to someone like David Gilmour. It's well documented what the pedals and the effects and the amps and all the sort of things that he used. Therefore, we can, even before we start worrying about the settings on those particular devices, we can get close to the pedals and the arrangement and and there's quite a lot going on in there. So there's more to get wrong, but we're getting closer earlier, if you know what I mean. Without even setting the things, it's documented what there is. Gary Moore has used, he's not a big pedal guy. He's been a Marshall and kind of Soldano guy forever. It's so much of it. There's not massive delay. There's not massive effects. It's him, the guitar, and the amp. You could give him any guitar, any amp, and a cable, and it would still sound like Gary Moore. Whereas Dave Gilmour, Pink Floyd sounds are so track specific. You can actually go away and dig in and work out what they are, even if you didn't do any research and work out from the Pete Cornish diagrams and all those sort of things that are, well, totally available online. You can listen to it and go, oh, that's probably a BBE delay. Oh, it's probably a tube driver overdrive. I think there's more to get right, if you know what I mean, with someone like David Gilmour or Eric Johnson. Even there's more stuff in there to actually work on getting the right sounds. Whereas Joe Bonamassa, for example, it's the guitar and the amp, maybe a fuzz face.
I think you do that quite a lot. You sort of study on what they used gear wise. So
I'm quite sad like that.
Yeah, interesting. Next one.
Yeah, I always go back to those things. I mean, the Pete Cornish website is amazing as a repository of people's rigs. It's amazing.
Yeah. Dave Opalvo says, "Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Nice to have you along. Hold on, what amp's it? Go back. We'll have a look at his amp. What amp's that? Go back.
It's a
Larry. What's a Larry? That looks cool. Look at that. I like that.
Very cool.
Peter K. Hey, what's up? What's up, Peter?
How's the
David Malone says, "Hi fellas, do you know if the IR200 has the power amp section like the GT1000 core?" Hold on, let me get this right. Hey fellas, do you know if the IR200 has the Katana power amp section?
That doesn't make sense because those two units don't have a power amp in.
Yeah.
So I would say no, neither.
Hold on.
What do you mean the power amp emulation?
It may possibly no. Okay, so the IR200 doesn't have because it uses IRs. Don't think of it as like the power amp section. It's well, no, actually, that doesn't make sense. What I'm saying. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have that sort of thing. No, it's got the amp. You can't like change the tube, the power tube emulation.
The Audience Sono, you can. It has a power tube parameter in it, so you can change the dynamics of the dynamics. By that I mean the tonality of the power amp. It sounds really cool.
Really,
it's a nice little thing. I did a whole load of videos on it for Instagram, like little 1 minute tone videos. Some really cool stuff. Anyway, moving on.
Pete K, I love all the gear I have. I use it all. Oh, that's great.
That's important.
Yeah,
because if you don't use it, get rid of it.
Yeah. Kerbal Studios. Be honest now. I think almost every musician has prioritized gear over food a time or two. Yes, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, probably. at this point.
Oh, Pet, thanks, mate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
He says, hi, chat. Hold on, I'll go back. He's got a question.
Sorry.
Unbelievable. The guy gives us a super chat, and you skip past his question.
I do apologise.
Hi, Cat. He says, hi, chaps. In the market for a new Martin acoustic 3,000 pound cap. Hit me. Has it got to be a Martin?
Because I don't know the Martin serials and model numbers and things like that. I would personally, I wouldn't go near a Martin if I'm totally honest.
Why is that?
Just because I think it's an outdated sound. I would go Taylor. I'd go Taylor every time.
I've got a Taylor. I like Taylor.
Or I'd go something really out there and classy like my Eggle. I
think, God, this is it. We do disagree on so many things. I think
we certainly do.
Do you know what, Pet? So I've got a Taylor. Okay. Taylor is like, and I've got one. I think Martin is classy and it's got character. Taylor has not got character. Taylor guitars have not got character. That's Taylor guitars do have character, but Martin guitars are fantastic. Don't listen to what he says. What's he dragging out now? Oh right. God.
Okay, I had to unplug for a minute. So you could have been saying all sorts of things about me.
Yeah, we did.
This is quite frankly the best acoustic guitar I've ever played, will ever hold, will ever own. It is off the chart. It is a Patrick James Eggle. So it's a new one. It's not vintage or anything like that. This is a stunning acoustic guitar.
Can I just because you and me are so, I mean, I've never played that guitar, but so if Pet buys a Martin,
yeah,
Pet's guitar.
I'm now strangling myself. Trying to put it back.
Pet's guitar is going to hold value.
Yeah.
That guitar, it might be fantastic. It's not going to hold value.
I'll disagree, but hey.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. But Patrick James Eggle is not known for his acoustics. I'm not saying it's not a fantastic guitar, the best guitar in the world. It might be, but he's not known for. Well, Martin are known for their fantastic instruments. And it's funny, like how we disagree on certain things.
Everything.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah. Okay. $3,000 is going to get you a beautiful Martin. It's going to get you an off-the-chart Martin. And if you're someone who is thinking of spending that much money on an acoustic guitar, you're probably a half-tidy player that's going to appreciate $3,000 on a Martin. Yeah. But I would say, depending on the style of music you play, there are alternatives, and there are lots of them. Don't discount some of the modern names like Eggle or Taylor, or there are some amazing instruments out there. Don't just think you have to get a Martin because that's what you have to get.
I know, but the thing is, if you're a guitar player, if you're an acoustic guitar player, I think Martins are like, I think that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate acoustic.
Is it?
For me, it is. Yeah, I'd buy a Martin. A D28 is like, yeah, I think it's one of the most.
And would you get one of those for $3,000?
Yeah, a D28 is about $3,000.
There you go. We helped.
I would.
We helped.
I think I'd look at that. I think I'd look at one of them. Mate. If you want to spend $3,000 on acoustic guitar, I think Martin is the best choice. Not James, and I don't mean to insult your Patrick Eggle. I'm sure it's a fantastic guitar. I've never played it. I bet it's amazing. Peter K says Bruce was so stoked to get the Spark, he changed his mind every other day. Well, yeah. The thing about the Spark, initially you plug into it, Oh, sorry, mate. I've got this nervous tick. I must have a nervous thing. I'm just going, oh, bloody dog. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no. The thing about the Spark is you do plug into it and you go, oh, this is exciting.
This is going to run and run. Watch this.
Oh no. Bruce says, I never said I was going to get rid of it. I've got roomfuls of stuff. He has, because Bruce came on once and he showed us all this stuff, and that wasn't all of it. Plus, also fun to have all that extra stuff because it drives my wife crazy. Island Sounds. Are you familiar with session players from the 80s and 90s, such as Michael Landau, Dan Huff? Yes.
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Absolutely. All of the above. James and myself are 80s, 90s boys.
What's hilarious is that someone like Michael Landau is the reason that people like Steve Lukather play guitar.
Yeah.
Together. Yes. Landau's older, isn't he, I think?
Can you imagine going to that school? We had David Page,
Jeff Porcaro, David Page, Michael Landau. I want to say something like North Hollywood Elementary or something like that. I can't remember the name because I think we've both read Steve Lukather's The Gospel According to Luke. But what a school that must have been. Mad. Could you imagine being the band that gets the school dance gig? Everyone, the whole room is just going to be the awkward musicians at the back going.
But can you imagine being in a band like playing with? Who did Jeff Porcaro play with when he was still at school?
Boz Scaggs.
No, more than that.
Oh, he was a session guy, so everybody.
Yeah, but he didn't. He was
Steely Dan when he was.
He was doing Steely Dan when he was at school.
Yeah,
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Great Beyond. Pet Moxie, I've got a Martin HD 28E. It's insanely good. I dare you to do better.
Ooh,
nice one.
That's fight and talk where I come from.
Yeah. I need 4 guitars. Nah, everyone needs a replacement drum with a potato. Probably keep better timing.
Probably.
Keith Miller says, have pedals ever been more popular than they are at the moment? I don't think they have. There are
more boutique pedal manufacturers. There are more really cool stuff coming out. I totally think now is a pedal time. However, right now is the time to talk about new gear. There's a segue for you.
Nice. Oh yes, we should do that, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Because we're an hour and a quarter in.
Right. So I received a text from my friend Mr. Paul Drew saying, "Have you seen MC Metallica?" And I went, MC Masterclass. Now, I subscribe to Masterclass, the online tutorial platform. And the cool thing about Masterclass is not just music. It's cooking, it's poker, it's acting, it's singing, it's everything. There are quite a few music ones. There's Herbie Hancock does jazz, and Sheila E. does percussion, and Carlos Santana does guitar. Tom Morello does. Hang on. And then there is Metallica on being a band.
Can I just say? So if Metallica, one of the longest.
40 odd years they've been a band. Years.
That's pretty good. So if they're trying to give their knowledge on how to remain a band, I think that's really relevant.
But so normally a masterclass is 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
Metallica's is 2 hours 45 minutes. 30 minutes of that is a performance.
Right.
There's two bits that stood out. There's so many bits where they are saying words for the sake of opening their mouths and making a sound come out. Those words make no sense in the English language.
Sounds like one of my videos.
Anyway, the section on bass tone is just laughable because they're clearly all using Axe effects for their tones.
Are they?
And the bass tones are awful. I mean, no bass at all. We can all joke about how Kevin Shirley mixes bass. We all know it's laughable.
Was it Kevin Shirley that did Metallica?
He's done it. I think he has done a Metallica album. Yeah.
Are you sure? No, don't think Kevin Shirley did Metallica.
Pretty sure. Which was the one where there is no bass in it at all?
That was the Black Album.
No, the Black Album's got some bass in it, but not very much.
No, it's on with Jason Newsted's album. When Jason Newsted. Oh no, was it Justice for All?
Justice for All. There's no bass in it at all.
There was, yeah, which is because like so the engineer, the mixer goes in there, and then
it's Bob Rock, wasn't it, for a lot of their stuff?
Oh, I think Bob Rock did do the Black Album.
Black Album, yeah.
And so apparently they all lay down their stuff, and then Lars Ulrich goes in and then tells the mix engineer how to mix, which is basically to take the bass out. I mean, just what are you thinking? You don't let no.
This is the drummer who does mix, but hey, it's laughable. There's one terrible bit where Kirk Hammett, who to be fair I don't really rate as a guitar player anyway, is teaching how to do solos and derive solos from a box, what he refers to as a box pentatonic scale.
Right.
And I've heard kids who've picked up guitar less than a week ago play it better and sound better.
Controversial.
It's pitiful. I'm really sorry, Metallica fans. I am a Metallica fan. I love that big roar of Metallica, but it ain't pretty. It really is not pretty. I dare anyone to sit through it and binge watch it like I did and not come out the other side and go, well, that's 2.25 hours of my life I'm not going to get back.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I would say for me the only thing that I think is a bit weird is I think Metallica have sort of lost their mystique a little bit. They're doing all these sort of weird things that have now made them a bit sellout. It just feels a little bit sellout. I think there's bands that would have done that a lot, or would have been a lot more interesting.
I mean, there's certainly, for example, Tom Morello teaching guitar. I've got nothing against Tom Morello, and I love Rage Against the Machine. But he's not, for me, a guitar player's guitar player. And we actually said earlier, before we came on air, we said the person who should have done it is Mr. Charisma and Mr. Current Guitar Poster Boy, Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah, Joe Bonamassa, that would have
been brilliant.
Maybe it's just because he's not mainstream enough. Maybe it's because I think people know who Tom Morello is because of Killing the Name. So I don't know. It is a strange choice, and it does feel like we're just trying to make money.
To reverse it, it is beautifully shot. Right. All of the masterclass stuff is beautifully produced, beautifully shot. Sonically, it's not so great because there's a lot of guitar playing that you miss the amped sound because they're talking over it, and they've gone, "Oh, we can't do that. Let's just go with it." So there's an awful lot of guitar parts in there. You go, doesn't sound like Metallica.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it was terribly well planned or scripted. I don't think that's the point of this one. I think if you want to watch 4 of your metal heroes chat, it's a good way to spend a couple of hours.
I think I would rather have watched Iron Maiden do it.
Maiden would have been brilliant.
I'm not even an Iron Maiden fan, but I think it would. That would have been really interesting. Anyway,
so check it out if you fancy a laugh. Don't check it out if you want to learn anything. Anywho, the other big news. I'm entitled to it.
Absolutely.
They're like opinions are like. Anyway, let's not go there. I like bottoms. Okay. Everybody's got one. The other big news of the week.
Well, shall we do the news and then we can?
Yeah.
First, can't
please.
We? I think we're talking about the same thing here.
I think we are. Yeah.
Should we share? Let me share screen.
We are. Yep. Say when.
Eyes are sharing.
There we go.
It's really where did this come out of?
Yeah, bizarre. Oh, it's not. Is it bizarre?
I don't think it's bizarre. I think it's great. I think it's really good, but it's
Fender Musical Instrument Corporation have bought Presonus, the makers of, amongst other things, Studio One.
Yeah. It's I don't know why they bought it. I don't know what what Presonus have got that Fender needs.
Do they want a DAW?
Do Fender want a DAW? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I mean, Presonus make affordable interfaces.
But don't think of Fender as being Fender guitars.
No,
this is Fender on a corporate level.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's Fender want a DAW.
Right.
Yamaha have got one.
Yeah.
Gibson could have had one, but they've let it go. Or did have one. Cakewalk.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that wasn't a good buy.
No. Avid are still their own. Ooh. Yeah. There are a few reasons. I just think it's interesting. I mean, if you want a solid financial backing, getting in with one of the biggest instrument manufacturers on planet Earth is not a bad way to go.
No, absolutely. No, it's great.
Congratulations to Jim and the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
It all bodes very well.
Yeah. We don't need that one. Okay. So JHS have released it's called what's it called? Pack Rat? What's it called? Yeah, Pack Rat. So it's basically all the iterations of the Proco Rat in one pedal.
Yeah, in one pedal. Brilliant idea.
Yeah. So apparently, I can't remember what he said, like how many different switches and stuff there are inside this thing, but it is bonkers to get all the different tones out of it, all the different configurations of all these different Rat pedals.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not cheap though.
How much is not cheap?
Where was it? I think it's over 200 quid from what I remember.
The Rat was quite a good pedal.
Yeah, so it's $249.
Right.
Yeah, but a Rat pedal costs you, I mean, you could buy one now for like 60, 70 quid, brand new. So yeah, is it worth that, or do you just go and try out a bunch of different Rats and then find the one you really like?
Yeah,
because probably it's the sort of thing that I find with these
in the studio. Yeah, in the studio, that's great because you've got everything in one pedal.
Definitely, but I find with these sort of things is that you find one setting and you just go, yeah, that's the settings always on.
Yeah. But in the studio, if you've got people coming through, that's when a pedal like this goes, hello, ta-da.
Yes, absolutely. So interesting. Oh, right. I don't know why I picked this.
You're going to have to talk about this because for some reason I need the toilet.
Oh, lovely jubbly. Right.
Sorry.
So no, it's all right. So I'll try and keep this all together then. So this is, well, talking about sort of pedals and amplifiers going out of fashion. So now this company is making sort of boutique knobs for your pedals. That's my favorite. Anyway, so if you want if you do want to change the knobs on your pedal, you can do that, and they cost from €7 to €10 each, which is a bit bonkers. So you've got to love those knobs to do that. Next one. Now I thought it's a shame that James isn't here, but I thought this looks the nuts. So this is the new Magneto Guitars Eric Gales RD3 model. And I just think that just looks absolutely awesome. The only thing I don't like about it is the little Eric Gales signature-y type caricature thing there, which I don't really like. But apart from that, I think that is the absolute nuts. If you don't know who Eric Gales is, you should do, because he's an awesome guitar player. And at the moment, they haven't got the price, so it's that's to be confirmed. It's a shame James isn't here. Is he back yet? I really wanted James for this one because we want to talk about this. So Rhodes, the Fender Rhodes, they brought out a new version of this. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. So they've now released the price, and the price is up to £10,000, which is absolutely bonkers. So anyone that's got a Rhodes is probably going to be laughing now if you've got an original Rhodes, because they're going to go up in value, which is nice. I need James's little jingle. Is this Harley Benton of the week, whatever he calls it? So this is the power attenuator that Harley Benton have just released. Now, it says here that it can take a 250 watt amp, which is absolutely bonkers. Is that James coming back? I'm going to wait. Are you back? I can't see you on my screen because I'm on this.
Oh, I missed the chance for my
Look, go on. Here we go. Go on.
Sorry. It's the Harley Benton moment of the week.
They do tend to bring out things like every single week, don't they?
They do.
Can I just go back because I want your opinion on this? Actually, a couple of things.
Yeah. Sorry. I would normally have held on, but I couldn't. That is stunning.
Isn't it lovely?
It's beautiful.
It's the new Eric Gales.
Yeah.
Signature model.
He can play.
Oh my God, can he play? That man's what a guitar player.
Yeah.
The Rhodes, so they've released the price of the new Rhodes.
It's not cheap, is it?
10 grand. Oh. Anyway, the Harley Benton moment of the week. 250 watt power attenuator.
I can't think of an amp that's 250 watts. Some bass gear.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use a power attenuator with a bass amp.
No.
So yeah, the only thing is, so I don't think it's reactive load.
Right.
I just think it's just the standard sort of load, but it's 150 euros. And it's got a line out and a balance out. I think it's quite good.
Yeah, it's going to tick lots of boxes.
Yep. I don't understand what's going on. So maybe 6 months ago, Gibson did the Adam Jones Silver Burst.
Yeah.
And now they're bringing out his 1979 model. Well, he's the copy of his his other one.
It's got a lovely finish on it. It's got a lovely kind of cracked top finish to it.
Yeah, it's probably Murphy Lab, to be honest, and it should do for the price of it. It's 10 grand. It's
See, this is what gets me, right?
Yeah.
You know how we harp on about the guitar auction.
Yeah.
A few months ago. There were some amazing, properly vintage guitars, as in genuine vintage guitars in that auction that went for a lot less than that.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, you could buy. I mean, how much would a 1979 Les Paul cost? I don't know. 3 grand. 3 grand, I reckon. Yeah. It does seem a little bit crazy. It does seem a little bit crazy price, but it's going to be for the the Tool mega fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Probably have to. It'll probably weigh like a
metric ton.
1979 Les Paul Custom. Yeah, I think Nobles are trying to make every last penny out of the ODR one. They've released it in a spot. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's just what's going on in life when they change the color and think it's going to sell more. Boss, I thought this was interesting. So Boss released, when was it? Was it last year? They did a Macari's fuzz. Was it not fuzz face? Fuzz. Oh, I can't remember the fuzz.
Yeah.
And now they go for bonkers money.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a limited run. So Boss Wazacraft have just released the FZ1W. So yeah.
I'm
Fuzzy
sure
tones. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Boss stuff, Boss stuff built like a tank. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm done. That's me done.
Okay. Well, sorry I had to disappear halfway through that, but
unbelievable. Yeah. Right.
No staying power whatsoever.
Bruce says, "Hey Pete, guys, I've got my mate Peter online with us. He's got a real deal studio, does work with A-list artists, has a few gold records on his wall. Nice. Welcome, Pete.
You are more than welcome to join us. I haven't actually posted the link. I will post the link just in case anybody does want to join us. You are more than welcome to join us in the chat and ask questions real time. Just make sure you're somewhere quiet-ish with your phone, your iPad, your laptop, whatever. It would be an absolute joy to have you on with us. So, Bruce, if you and your mate want to come on, be our guest, quite literally.
Yeah, we should wrap it up at sort of sensible.
Yes.
Time.
Yeah, half hour or so. So we can rattle through these questions.
Louis Brother says, "Hi, hello, mate." Jeff Rock says, "I prefer 50s wiring. I find it cleans up better. Reducing tone pot rolls off a bit of volume, but tone doesn't get muddy. Old school version, probably. Nice. Sergio Fernandez Baronida. Hey guys, what amp model would you recommend for around €1,000?
I would say the Headrush gig board.
I would probably say if you got $1,000, I think I would probably go for, and I'm not a massive fan of it, but either the GT1. Sorry, I'm not a massive fan of the Line 6 Helix. Is what I would say I would probably go for about that sort of money.
I have an aversion. What can I say?
Hello, lads. I've got nothing productive to add. Then why did I type this? Well, thanks.
We appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. Jason Wade says, "Hey guys, just home from work and tuning in. I hope you're doing well today." Yes, all good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well too. SD, what is the best live performance you ever saw in person? That's a good question.
Well, I can say the best concert I ever went to because it was the Freddie Mercury tribute concert at Wembley.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I mean, if you want to see everybody, it was amazing. It was also a moment to see a lot of people murder some Queen songs. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Extreme.
Really? Extreme murdered?
Now I'm Here.
Oh, what a shame.
Not good.
Wow. Surprised. Me, I don't know. I saw, never seen in person.
Roger Waters' The Wall was the one.
Oh, nice.
Big show. As in the recent one. It was incredible. Incredible show. Incredible band. Great music. Just amazing.
I can't think. I might have to come back to that. I don't know. I can't remember. But I will have a think. Jason Wade says, "Hey James, can you show us that mic stand again?" Oh no.
I can't show you. Actually, I can do it. The best way I can do it is do this. So it's by a company called Latch Lake, Canadian company, I think. This is the Mic King 1100. This is one of the big ones, the Bigfoot. Not a cheap thing, but if you've got good quality mics that you don't want to fall on the floor, put them on a decent stand. I think this is the Bigfoot. They're doing. I've got 4 or 5. He's had enough. He's gone. Mic stand. Oh, fantastic! Right, let's nerd out, boys and girls. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it, and I have no problem whatsoever putting stupidly expensive mics on it. Let's carry on. He's gone.
Back in. Oh.
Peter K says, live from Bolton, one of the best plugins ever, Brainworks SSL 400E. Yes, it is a particularly good. He means the 4000, of course, because it's the 4K, which he now corrects himself to.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, amazing. The thing I love about the Brainworks stuff is it's got that tolerance modeling technology, where on a console each channel is modeled separately, and then they're kind of the errors are cumulatively added together to give you a console sound rather than just a bunch of channels put together. Nice. Very cool.
Cowboy Studio says, "What audio interface do you use with your console?"
Guessing that's to me. I am using the Goliath HD from Antelope Audio, and I love it. To be honest, I've used a whole myriad of different things. I've had a pair of Universal Audio Apollo X16s attached to it. I've had the Antelope. I've had different Antelope boxes in various guises. The one I'm after is the new one, the Galaxy, the 64 channel. That will be coming fairly soon, hopefully. Yeah, anything with lots of I/O is what I need. Lots of line level I/O.
Nice.
Hang on, I've just lost where we were. How did it do that? Oh, blimey. Hang on. We got a lot of questions to get through.
All right, okay, let's do this. Top Low Tilly says, any thoughts about Fender acquiring PreSonus? Look at that. Isn't that weird? We did that, didn't we?
Done it already.
Yeah, brilliant move by Fender. The amps could be Fender. Oh, that's true. All of the amps could be Fender branded Sims.
That's true.
I wonder. Yeah, at least they'll be able to use the right names as opposed to calling them. I don't know.
Yes.
John Wallace says, you folks still at it? Still at it. Pet says, yes, please. Oh, what was that for?
No idea.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Pet. Let us know what you need. And then
we get so bogged down in stuff.
Yeah, because basically you're asking when you guys type in a question, we're sort of way back, and there's a delay also on the feed.
Yes. Yeah.
He says, Rika Tanner Power Amp. A lot of the Boss digital pedals have the ability to select what you are outputting to combo amp PA stack, and on the GT1000 Katana. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'll miss that one because we don't really know what that's relevant to.
Interesting. Nice. My amp is 100-watt hand-wired tube head from Germany, a Larry Groman Plexi DNA without harshness, and a super tight bottom. I love this amp. Nice.
Very nice.
Never heard of that. Like that.
No.
David Gordon says, cheers from Los Angeles. We love you here. P.S. Dude, I'm so high.
Well, quite frankly, we love Los Angeles and we'll be there in June.
Yeah. Nice. Max Hodges, on purely mercenary grounds, I agree the Eggle will depreciate badly. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like any guitar that's not
compared to what I paid for it versus what it's worth. But anyway,
no, absolutely no. I'm sure you got it for a good price. I'm sure it's a fantastic guitar. Bruce says, I'm a Martin guy. Have had several. Also like old Gibsons and USA Guilds. Have a bunch of those too. Oh, nice.
A bunch.
Nice. Keith says, regarding acoustic guitars, I would head down to Richard's Guitars and try a bunch in the price range. Don't know Richard's Guitars. Pet looking to Maton guitars, Australian built. Nice. Corey Dean, love from Seattle. I enjoy your channel, rhetoric and personalities. Cheers, mate.
Oh,
nice to have you along. Max Hodges, $3,000 to buy an old guitar! ! Martin D28 or an OM28. Oh, I don't know the OM28. Nice. I mean, you can't go wrong with a mine. That's great guitars. I thought it was Pet says, I thought it was a good effort to dissuade me, James, on the Martin, but too many country documentaries will forever pull me towards the Martin. I was considering a Tommy Emmanuel Maton as a plan B. Nice. Well, they are. Someone I've just mentioned.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. David says, chaps, ever thought of doing a face-to-face evening with the Studio Rats?
Totally. It's on the cards. Obviously, things have been stopping us recently.
Yeah, James, the thing about the face-to-face is that James cannot physically bring his microphone stand on a plane, so he struggles. He's going to struggle to talk about anything else.
Cheeky bastardo. Yes, that's it. Yes, we will do it. It will probably be in London. We are also planning something for Los Angeles for NAMM in June. It will happen. It will also probably tie in with our 100th episode at some point.
It'd be nice to do a studio thing. It'd be nice
it would, wouldn't it?
Like if we could hire like Dean Street or something, or have a chat with Dean Street and just have a
even if it's just a get together, a beer in somewhere.
Beer in
would be good. Yeah, would be good. We'll work it out. We'll put a plan together and see what we can come up with. And yes, it will happen.
To see how many people would actually turn up. Would it just be like
you and me in a bar getting slowly stewed? I mean, obviously, when we started the live stream and the podcast before that, we were in deepest, darkest lockdown. We didn't know how long this would last. We didn't know where it would go. We didn't know how popular it would be. I'm not saying we're that pedal show yet, but
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? But you know, that's where we want to go. That's the direction we want to take, and hopefully there will be the opportunity to do more stuff in the real world as soon as, you know, it is possible now. Obviously, everyone's still being very careful. Some more than many, but yeah, it is live stuff will start to happen very soon. Promise.
Lee Abraham says, "Ola from Canary Islands."
Oh, mate, that was one of the nice things about ships doing the Canaries during the winter. You know, it was always lovely and warm. And
yeah, love the Canaries. Steve Ball, evening, gents. Hope you're both well. I have to catch up tomorrow. Just home from being fleeced watching Disney on Ice.
So I tried to get tickets for Frozen the musical for my family for a family Christmas present, and as soon as I got onto Ticketmaster, I had to sit down rapidly. Decent tickets for Frozen are £250.
James is a Frozen super fan, by the way.
No, my daughter is a Frozen super fan. She's 5. I can't justify taking 2 5-year-olds to the theatre for £500.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
Ridiculous. How to destroy a family out. Anyway, yes.
Take them to McDonald's, mate. They'd have a much nicer time.
I don't want to kill them.
And Justice for All. Yes, it was. Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
That must have been gutting for Jason Newsted.
That's why he left, isn't it?
Is it? That's why he left.
It's one of the opening reasons why he left.
Ilmaz Chermachulinus.
There's a new name. I haven't seen that name before.
Nice to have you along, mate. Good to have you along. I'm not going to try and pronounce your name again. But really nice to have you along. Cowboy Studios, Black Album, and the next few with Bob.
Bob Rock. I mean, what a great name for a producer.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Bob Rock. What do you do?
Yeah. Pet says Black Album sounded tremendous sonically. The guitar and drum sounds on that reminds me of Trouble Gun by Therapy. Wasn't the Black Album, was that the one that was overmastered?
No, that was the neck. That was, oh God, I've forgotten. It was so compressed and awful.
Yeah.
I want to say Spaghetti Incident, but that was Guns N' Roses.
Oh well, don't worry.
Yeah,
Come
that one.
Come back to it. Interesting. Jonathan McCulloch says, Island Sounds, you have a new subscriber just for your huff. Landy. Lucas, a tone comment. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Great guitar players, all of them. Strange Bird recording. The outtakes in the studio of the year and a half box set is pretty great. Outtakes in the studio.
I think that's a film. Is that the Metallica film?
I don't know.
I think it could be.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Niles Forsyth says Tom Morello's new music is really atonal and hard on the ears.
Yeah. Not the first choice I would have chosen for a.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done either. John says disagree. I love Tom. Blues rock is not the guitar that the young folks want to play. Yeah, no,
true.
You know, when Tom Morello's playing, yeah, you know it's when he's doing well because he's using the whammy pedal. I think that's the only reason why you'd know him there.
Yeah.
Jonathan McCulloch says totally agree. Kurt from Metallica sucks. My ears peel if I ever come across his playing. Great passion, but seriously nervous vibrato. Yes, I think you're right. Actually, the vibrato is something that's what I don't like. Nasty stuff. Sorry, people. No, you're entitled to your own opinion. Mate. Good. Pet says Morello is a very unique guitarist in making guitar sounds like a turntable. That is true. He's there's some things he's done that that have been very good. Max Hodges, Fender by brands. I didn't know that. What are some other Fender brands, James? You know?
Oh God, I do know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh well, no, much like Gibson. Yes.
Yeah.
For example, Fender bought Groove Tubes bend everything except the valves they're using their amps. That's such a shame because Groove Tubes made
those amps were great, but they weren't very reliable,
weren't they?
No.
Oh, okay. Max Hodges says, thus the cessation of things like Viper and my beloved GT mics. I had a GT mic. Yeah, Viper, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that. My favorite rat is the Jam Pedals Rattler. Sounds amazing. Nice. I'll try that. It's just a fucking strat again. I think he means about the Derek Gales.
We're at that point. Yes, we're at that part. Yeah,
okay.
that point.
The rat pedal was seriously overrated, in my opinion. I know who used and endorsed it, but I really like most of the guys. But nope, that pedal as a standalone sucked. I quite like rats. Saw Eric last week. Amazing, awesome. I'd like to hear it, Gals. Bonkers, 10 grand. Yes. Read the Boss 200 series. Do you think we'll ever see an RV 200? Seems strange that they never announced one. IR 200 has some verb capability, but none of the extended capabilities of the RV 500, etc. Yes, absolutely. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be that. But the quality of the reverb in the IR 200 is brilliant. Will we ever see an RV 200? I mean, I think Boss are.
They're pretty smart, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they'll bring out something like that. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I would have thought at some point they'll bring out expanding the 200 range. Ilmaras says Kemper is 600 watts. Yes, but you wouldn't. It's a different thing. You wouldn't need to you don't need to attenuate a Kemper because attenuator is a Class D power amp. And Max says where are the musicians with 10 fucking grand
for that guitar? Yeah.
Agreed. Well, yeah.
Musicians aren't going to buy it, unfortunately.
Well, no, and I agree with that. I don't think any musician wants to go out with a 10 grand Les Paul because they're so fragile. I don't mind going out with a Les Paul, but I wouldn't want to go out with a 10 grand one. I don't know how Joe Bonamassa goes out with a 58. Well, I would be bricking it.
He's
just one little knock on that, and the headstock goes. You go. Oh. Frankie boy, I come on and I see Adam Jones spiral out. I come here and see Adam Jones spiral out. Yeah. Marcus M, have a good night, guys. Thanks for the great content channel. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming.
And on the other extreme,
morning, lads. It's all over the world. Safety says many music production giants have come to the show. Any chance Dave Murray and Adrian Smith could come on the show? Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I think they might be a little bit. I don't think they would. I'm not sure they do that. Did they do that?
I've never seen those guys on anything. They don't have to.
Did you see the Adrian Smith? Was it Adrian Smith and Richie Kotzen started up?
No.
Together? Yeah, it's quite good.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact that they all do other things, though. You know, especially on all the Iron Maiden DVDs I've got. On their downtime, you've got them. Dave Murray, fishing.
Oh, really?
They go fishing, and Yannick Gers goes off and watches football. Adrian Smith goes and plays. I think, or is Adrian Smith is the fisherman, and Dave Murray goes and plays golf. It's all wrong. It's like you've got these legendary rock stars doing dull stuff.
Yeah, nice. Like that. Chris P, was it the Boss? Yes, the Boss Tone Bender. Yes, silly money. No, crazy money. That was a good investment if you could get your hands on one of those. Imras, you don't like extreme playing Queen songs, really? No, James and myself both love Nuno Betancourt's guitar playing. Unbelievable guitar playing.
Off the chart, but I didn't like that particular gig. It was awful. It was just Now I'm Here is such an iconic delayed vocal, isn't it? It's huge.
I don't know. I can't think of
now I'm here. But I'll stay around. It's amazing. But it sounded like me doing it, but badly.
Oh,
even worse than badly.
wow.
Yeah, terrible.
Jeff Rock says Seal murdered Who Wants to Live Forever at the tribute concert.
Yep.
Been here for 20 years. Wow.
However, I did see Seal do. He did "Slave to the Rhythm" at the MPG Awards, the Music Producers Guild Awards, and I tell you what, that boy can sing. I mean, there was no doubt Seal can sing, but oh my God, did he sing that well? Agreed. Who Wants to Live Forever wasn't so great, but
Keith says, I think my favourite gig was Freddie's last night with Queen at Nebworth. Nice.
Amazing.
And lived in Nebworth at the time. So I could walk out. Oh, that'd been fun. Jeff Rock says, great show. That was Keith. I saw them 3 times on the Magic Tour. Nice. Big Country outplayed Status Quo by a mile. Big Country. Can't remember them.
In this big area of life.
No, that wasn't them.
That was Big Country, wasn't it?
No, Big Country did the song Big Country.
Yeah.
No, Big Area was that was a different band.
Okay, fair enough.
They sure did, Keith. Yes, I think they're chatting amongst themselves, which is great. Really good.
Nice.
Bruce Brooks says, Ivan Martin, you've probably never heard of. OMC Cherry, Google it. Nice. A Cherry one, wow. When James built his garden studios, it sounds like we could all meet there. I think the whole world could meet in there.
And we can all talk about mic stands together.
Oh God. I'll go.
That's how I'll get you out.
Yeah. Jeff says, regards to the acoustic guitar purchase and any gear for that matter, isn't it a bit sad when we buy stuff on one of our considerations in how much we'll be able to sell it for? Yeah, it is. That is sad.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't tend to. I have to admit, I tend to buy gear because I want it or I like what it does. I don't tend to worry about the resale value because I am that guy. Oh, excuse me. I never sell stuff.
Just me.
No, you're the eternal.
Sorry.
You're the eternal seller at honor of gear.
Yep. I love it.
Hang on. Keep going. Right. The album we were all thinking of was St. Anger.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And Death Magnetic was also another one that had no bass in as well. Keep going.
Graham Hayes says, hey guys, just found your channel. Nice to have you along, mate. Loving the Boss IR200 vids. Might have to treat myself to one. St. Anger is a Metallica album on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to have you along.
Thank you very much.
Pez, Jason left because they wouldn't let him release his. Oh, that was right. He did Echo Brain, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that.
Well, and because he's actually quite good and clearly much better than the rest of them. Anyway.
The defense of no bass was because he was playing the same as James, where they wanted him to play like Cliff Burton, just not the same riffs as guitar. We'd have thought that with such an important albums coming out that they would have
talked about bass lines, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Lee says the masterclass studio thing that Dream Theater do always interesting.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, again, you can take those guys seriously because, they're all, I'm not saying that Metallica aren't, but they certainly come across as very well-rounded, educated individuals. Metallica don't do that on this particular video.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, they don't. Lars comes across as being stoned off his box. Some would say Lars-like. Who knows?
Matt Wright says, wasn't the Spinal Tap album eventually just black due to a slightly un-PC original cover photo? I don't remember that.
Yes, that was the Smell the Glove album.
Oh, Smell the Glove. Awesome.
Yes.
Pet says, fancy effects aside, can't beat watching Glenn Campbell ripping around the fretboard. Yeah, that guy could play. His vocals were great as well. It fit in for Brian Wilson when Wilson retired to bed. Awesome. Jonathan McCulloch says, fantastic show. If you get to this chat, guys, Always interesting. Great community. If I ever have a chance to meet you and share a beer, that'd be a good day. Keep this going. Chat's brilliant. Cheers, Jonathan. That's very nice of you.
We will do our very best. I'm sorry, I really can't possibly post Pez's comment because I am biased. Hey, I look after the comments, therefore I'm not going to post it. He says, apart from the first two and Seventh Son. Seventh Son is one of my favourite albums, I think. My favourite Maiden album. And it's not a popular one with fans, but I love the fact that it's got some big synths in it.
Because it's got Can I Play with
Madness and
no,
Seventh Son.
That was no. I've
always wanted to do a Mickey take of that and go, can I play with madness? Can
I play in madness? Axel and Elton were great at the tribute for Queen. George Michael, though, he was never off vocally. Hell of a voice.
No.
You know, George Michael did a great job, didn't he?
Each morning I get on my diary. Yeah,
so
it's phenomenal.
Good, so
phenomenal
good.
Song.
Yeah.
But, you know, he had a great song to work with. He had a great vocal belter to go with. You're not trying to, it wasn't trying to do a rock song. I mean, Axel covered Tie Your Mother Down. And it was brilliant because it was right in his kind of shouty, angry range.
Yeah. Yes, Big Area was Then Jericho.
Then Jericho. Thank you. Another great band I really liked.
Come on, let's get through these.
Yeah, we are. We're getting there. We're nearly there.
Would it be a good idea to do a video or two on how to power studio gear properly? Haven't seen anything like that. It would be. It just wouldn't get many views.
It would be dull as dishwater as well.
Yeah,
it would.
It's such a shame, Andy Guitar, because it should be, these sort of videos should be watched, but it takes so long to do a video, and you have to do a video to.
I can't promise it'll be anytime soon. I can tell you exactly when it will be, but within about 4 to 6 months. When the studio is being built, I will do all these videos in to the nth degree, because obviously it will all be happening, as in how to think about studio powering, cables, routing, all that sort of stuff. I have all the joy of that to come. So I promise there'll be videos on all this stuff. It might not be down to the nth degree and super technical, but I will cover it. I absolutely promise.
Mm-hmm. Michele says, hey guys, I'm very late to the party. Sorry, did you talk about Fender buying Presonus? Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We did. Cowboy Studios Dream Theater, that makes me want to go to sleep way more than Mike stands. I'm with you on that.
You're entitled to your opinion, wrong as it may be.
Yeah, I'm not. I think, you know, fantastic musicians. Yeah, just leaves you a bit cold. Jonathan McCulloch says, favorite gig, Pat Metheny. Nice. Still Life. Hammersmith.
Still Life, talking to Hammersmith. Yeah, amazing.
Even the guy playing sax on the Underground was insane. I bought Johnny Not of This Earth same day. Music, Dick Talk to Me. Nice.
Hang on.
Lars like, is it a Scouserism? Is Lars like
Lastly?
Yeah, Pez he's got a couple, yeah. Silver Sun rocks. He likes that. Graham, hey Paul, how are you getting on with your Pete? Got rid of that. It's funny, we're talking about this sort of stuff, aren't we? Why did I get rid of it? No, it was really good. I just found it a little bit soulless, if that makes sense. It was very, very, really well made guitar, really, really good. Just not really for me. In the end, funny enough, I've sold all my Sirs now because I just found them a little bit soulless. Bertrand Dugas, could you tell us about Black Star amp, how they compare in terms of tone with others, and especially the black and blue 40 watt? Thanks. I've had a Black Star amp, I had the HT40.
Right.
Wasn't that keen on it, but nowadays, I think they're pretty good now. I mean, from what I've heard, and Jared James Nichols plays Black Star amps, and the sound he gets out of it, again, he's an amazing guitar player with amazing tone. But I think that they've really sort of sorted their tone out. It's only good. I don't know the black and blue 40 watts. We'll have a look. We'll check them out.
Yeah.
Pez was trying to get my bandmates to watch The Commitments. Oh, good. That's a good film. You have any favourite band music based movies?
The Last Waltz. by the band is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues Brothers
Uh-oh.
is a must. Actually, the Blues Brothers 2000, not for any of the film, other than the bit with the Gator Boys Blues Band at the end, which is basically a who's who of rock and roll. Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. That's the only one I can actually think of that.
Spinal Tap's got to be up there.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. Off to bed. Good night, Matt. Have a good one. Cowboy Studios, friend of mine, sold the PT guitar for the same reason.
Yeah,
strange, isn't it? Yeah, great guitars. Really, really good guitars.
Pez has also said Last Waltz.
Still crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to get to the end of this list, and then we're going to call it a day.
Yes. Thanks for answering anytime, mate. Thanks for coming on. Don't look back also. Cheers, guys. Great fun yet again. Cheers, mate.
Right. I'm calling it. I'm taking the football and I'm going home, even though I am home. So thanks again, everyone. Great for you to join us. Thanks so much for keeping this thing going, this craziness going that who knew where we'd be. We'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, with more craziness and answering of your questions, new gear, and all that sort of stuff. So from me and
can I just say So England's changed its time now. We're now in GMT, so some of you guys will be. It's an hour earlier. Is that right, James? Yeah. It's an hour earlier, isn't it?
Hour earlier. Yeah. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Didn't work. Didn't
quite work.
All that sort of stuff. And we will see you next week. So take care, everyone. Stay safe and all that sort of stuff.